Right, here we are, upstairs. The slash has been pulled apart, cleaned it. So this is the chassis. The front end is now going to be rebuilt using not these shocks, but the big bores. That's going to be rebuilt, and then I'm going to take this apart and clean that up. So that's those. And last but not least, I thought I'll show you guys a little collection of mine. So here you go. I'm a huge Beetle fan. The original Beetle, not the new rubbish that you see. Although I'm pretty certain they're quite decent cars, but I've always loved this. The main reason being is, as a child growing up, watching films like Knight Rider, well, shows like Knight Rider, Automan, Back to the Future, and seeing all Dukes of Hazzard, Starsky and Hutch, and Herbie, and then looking out of my window and seeing Herbie parked on my dad's driveway. Obviously, it wasn't looking the same colour, but it was silver, grey. It was like, oh my word. So seeing that as a 2, 3, 4-year-old child, I was just amazed. And I've loved that car ever since. Lots of good memories from me growing up with my parents, going on drives down the A40 and all that kind of stuff. So I've loved it ever since, which is why now I'm a bit older, I wish I could buy one, but I don't think I will, because they can be a bit temperamental, and I'm not a mechanic, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I thought I'll go the next best route, and when I see one that I like, I'll buy a little model of it. So here we go. My parents, let's just say I'm over a certain age, they went on holiday, and whilst they were on holiday, they went to a shop, and in that shop, whilst they were looking around, they saw this, and they bought this from me, knowing that I love Beetles. So yeah, that's one of them. These, I've bought a lot of these online. This one I was in Stratford-upon-Avon, so Shakespeare's Town. I was in there for work once, conference, and whilst I was there, you get some time off in the afternoon before the evening, sort of felicitations, as it were. And I found this and bought this because when I was a child at 6. My dad sometimes on the way home from work would buy a present for me, knowing if I was a good boy. And I remember sitting there learning my times table in the hallway whilst my mum was cooking. And my dad came home and he gave me a big, for me as a child, and I mean, this is quite big anyway, a Volkswagen Beetle in a box, and it was this Beetle. It was, I think the blue was a slightly darker metallic blue, obviously. Those days they used lead in paints and all this different sorts of stuff as well. But it was pretty much this exact thing. The steering wheel would turn. You know, you've got an engine there. You've got an engine bay at the back. So fast forward decades later, going out and seeing that in the shop, I was like, I'm buying that. It cost me about 20 quid, but it was so worth it. And that kind of helps. And that was around the time that I was looking at getting back into RC and stuff, when I watching YouTube videos of those Baja races in America, and then learning about short course trucks and stadium super trucks, and then seeing an advert of someone, or seeing someone put online their remote control car, and then I found a whole new world and got hooked back into remote control. So I got this. It's not really a fancy thing, but it is remote control. It's got thin plasticky tyres and stuff. It's not really a decent one. It's not hobby grade, but it is die-cast metal. And amongst all of that, as I've shown you before downstairs, I've got all these old toys that have been returned to me. Amongst those cars was this. This is a convertible Volkswagen Beetle, as you can see. And if we flip it over, that will come to the hearts in a sec. It says, oh, wrong way round. Made in West Germany, because obviously in those days, although when I went on school trips to Germany, it was unified. It wasn't like a long time ago. It was quite recent still, so you could still buy stuff in shops that were made in West Germany and not East Germany, hence that. And I also think this is probably one of the last model Volkswagen Beetles that was made in Germany. I don't think, you know, the way manufacturing processes work now, they're all shipped off all over the shop. And the reason it's got the little heart was when I got this on that school trip, I guess when everyone else was going out buying all sorts of other rubbish, I was in the shop and I saw the Volkswagen Beetle convertible. I was like, I'm buying that for sure. It had a little face and it had a little heart on it, which over time the sticker has come off. It had all sorts of stickers. And I, obviously what you do, I use my mum's nail polish and put a little heart back on it, try and put a face on it. Didn't quite work. It's not like the geniuses that you see on YouTube that repair all these things. There's a guy, I think, Jakarta something like that. He does a lot of Hot Wheels stuff. Amazing work he does. This was me back in the 1980s with my mum's nail polish. So there you go. My other love, Volkswagen Beetles. So anyway, I've waffled on a lot. I've got a few things in the post that I'm needing to sort out. One last thing. Back again. So a certain someone has been sending these out. And when I knew he was doing it, I had to get one because I follow this guy. Those of you in the same group as me know who he is, what a top bloke he is. For those of you that don't, this guy was kind of starting out, I guess, roughly the same sort of level. He had a bit more experience in these things, RC, but we kind of got chatting on one of the groups about certain stuff, and that's how we kind of got into it. And because of that, I'm on the Discord group thanks to this guy. It is, of course, the one, the only, the great Mr. RC Boise. He is a legend of a man. He is so funny, so cool. He has, if you don't want someone who's pretentious about remote controls, who just tells it how it is a down to earth. He actually shows you working his way through the RC world when he's fixing things, the issues he has, how he's planning to do it. He actually shows you what he's doing as well. And that's before you get to the actual vids of him running his cars. He is one of the nicest blokes I've met, online at least, and spoken to, if not the nicest, because he's just so cool. I will do everything I can to help this guy out when he needs bits and pieces that I've got that I don't need. I will always send it to this dude because I know he will be making use of it. I'm not someone who I know will sell stuff on Facebook or social media, because I know people will try and, price it down for me, and I just can't be asked with the hassle of all that and posting. So instead of selling it, if I know it goes to a good home, I'll rather do that, and I will always help this guy out. Check his channel out. He has a YouTube channel. Check out his vids, especially his WL toys. He's got an armor. He's got a few other things as well. He goes live every now and again as well, so keep an eye out for that. He's also got a Facebook page that's just started as well. Check him out. Get in touch with him. Join our Discord group because he's on there as well. He is an absolute star of a bloke, and I'm so glad that when I was getting back into RC, I got in contact. I think it was just over something. I can't remember what it was now. But I'm so glad I did, because his journey and mine at the start kind of, for me, looked roughly the same. But he's just taken off in such a big way. He's always banging out vids. He's always up to stuff with his cars, whether it's... He does a lot because he's got kids as well. He makes a lot of his own parts, a custom accessories for his crawler, for his toys and all that. For his cars and all that. He's leading the way. So for me, I will always have time for this guy. He's such a legend. So when he said he's got some new stickers out, and they're really, really good stickers. I mean, look at the size of them. They're not exactly small. Here we go. Let me give you some size comparison. Here's a tire for a Traxxas Slash, and here's kind of the size of his sticker. So it's not exactly a small sticker, and it is, as you can see, it's not matte either. So RC Boise, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. This is going on to my... I'm going to use my Slash, I think, as my sticker. Now, I don't have a sticker board, but I think for the time it's going on here. You legends. Thanks for RC Misfits as well, because I got your sticker as well. So that's going as well. Good. Another legend that I will always make time for, because he's helped me out. They all have, actually. They've helped me out so much. Advice Guidance, they're a good bunch of blokes. Good laugh. And they're from the UK. They're from Blighty. So come on. I mean, the world of RC is full of Americans. Us Brits and Kiwis. I know there's some Kiwis out there. And people, we got to stick up and we got to show, you know, RC is alive and well in the rest of the world as well. So this is Friction RC saying thanks for this long-winded update. And I'll catch you all later. Ciao for now.